This is Mr. Clackey, a GM and bookkeeper for the Verizia Living campaign. I'm going to be taking a look today at a member's sheet who has asked for some help in using the mission logging tool, which can be found on our Discord server. This is a off-the-cuff kind of video, so it's not scripted, and I may sound stupid in some places, so we'll just play it by ear. So let's go ahead and take a look over at the Verizia Living Campaign main page on Roll20. I've also brought up a fresh copy of the mission tool. Now, the character we're looking at today is Lo Heng-Ji, and we see here that there are 3 games that he has applied. The top game is a placeholder for the format that can be deleted, but we do have 3 games that he has been on that we need to put onto the logging tool to track everything. So if we go to encounter reports, we can add these 3 encounters. The first one we'll copy over is a 7-point game that was given to all of our members for our 7th anniversary. And then 2 other games have been played. We'll bring those over as well. Now, these codes that you see in his log on his character sheet come from the reports that have been linked to this character. He has received this one for our 7th anniversary, and you can see at the bottom of it, it is a 7-point game that also gave 7 bonus points. In the mission tool, there is a space for item access. This is somewhat out of date as item access has been taken out of the game. For the Verizia Living campaign, we no longer track that, so we just leave that slot blank. The next game, 11-20-22, was played on 11-20-22. We can see that this was a game with a bonus. It was part of an event that gave 2 additional bonus points, so it was worth 6 experience points, and it gave 6 bonus points. And the last game was also a game that had a nice bonus to it. It gave 5 experience points and 5 bonus points. So now we can see back in the Logs tab of the Mission tool, his experience log should read like this. Then copy over the 18 experience points to the short description, and copy over these 3 logs over into the main description. Now, we can see, since he's earned all of this experience, it has given him a certain amount of gold on hand. Now we can see here in the loot log that this has not been completed. Luckily, with the mission tool, it does all of that for him. He'll be able to take this line here with the current total and BP and copy it into his short description. And then do the same with the main body here. We'll copy all of these calculations over and replace everything in the long description of the loot log with these calculations that give the total gold. Downtime is the same. With the encounter reports already added in, it will calculate automatically what your downtime log should read. The bolded section, where 30 points of downtime, 30 downtime points, has been converted to 70 days earned. That bolded will go here in the downtime log in the short description. The calculations themselves that show how that number was come to, again, will be copied over and put into the long description. He currently has no retraining. He has spent some money. We can see how that is input into the log system here, the mission tool, in transactions. So on 11/13, he purchased a weighted spear. It cost him 10 gold. He bought one of them. He also bought lamellar armor, the horn version. On the 13th, that costs 100. And a masterwork backpack, also bought on the 13th, which cost 50 gold. In the gear log, we can see that he is wearing lamellar armor, the horn version. He carries that on his person. It weighs 30 pounds. He has a masterwork backpack. He carries that on his person. It weighs 4 pounds. It is a container. He also has that weighted spear. Now that we have a item that is marked as a container, he can choose between carrying it, leaving it at home, not carrying it normally, or put in his backpack. Weapon will be just carried, and that weighted spear weighs 10 pounds. So now that we have entered those transactions, we can come back here and look at our transaction log. It'll show that we spent 160 gold. You've made no money by selling anything back, for a total that we have spent of 160 gold. The bolded section can be copied and then placed into the transaction log in the short description. The main description here at the bottom, below that, the unbolded person can be, the unbolded section can be copied and dropped into the short description. The format line that is here that shows how things can be put in, can be deleted, and just simply have this brought in. Lastly, on the gear log, since we put all of that in on our gear tab here, we can see that in the carried section, we have a lamellar armor, the horn version, which weighs 30 pounds, masterwork backpack weighs 4, weighted spear weighs 10. The weight is correctly put into here at 44. That way, we have a correct weight up in the carried weight at the top that adds in for our encumbrance. And then we don't double any of those by putting them in the particular items that he has here. So that is a quick look at how we can use the mission tools to clean up the logs here. Then it will simply be a matter of doing the level up, as we can see here on the mission tool. Right now, Lo Heng-Ji is current level 4. We need to get that level up completed. Also see that he has a Dwarven War Shield here, shown on his equipment that was not listed in the transaction log. I'll double check that I'm not missing that. Nope, so that will need to be added if we were going to add a Dwarven War Shield. We can see that that item costs 50 gold and weighs 8 pounds. We would do that here. Dwarven War Shield. Here in the transactions, that's bought today, so the date will come up automatically. And we spent 50 gold on it. On his gear, we add that we have a Dwarven War Shield now. We carry that and it weighs 8 pounds. And that will automatically be updated, taking that extra 50 gold out of the current loot, adding on the transaction log a new line where we bought the Dwarven War Shield, and the additional weight of the War Shield is calculated and put into the gear log on our mission tool. And we would again just come in here and copy and paste from the mission tool back in. Our transaction log will have changed. So we look at our transaction log, copy the bold section into the short description, and the longer section into the main description. Doing the same on the gear log. The unbolded text we copy into the description, and the weight we put into weight. Now it looks like our member here has some more work to do to get this character current and ready for games again, but that is a quick down and dirty look at how we can take those ERs that have been brought onto this character, put them into the mission tool, and have them spit out our necessary logs for him to work on. And he's got a good chunk of money, 7,000 gold, that he can go to further spend on his character. And after he's performed his level up and has procured the items he wants to do, he'll be welcome to play in more games. And with that, I will stop rambling and grumbling here and hope that this was somewhat useful to those taking a look at it to see how to use the mission tool. I may, if we get more questions, do more of these in a more scripted format where I don't sound quite so stupid. So with that, we'll be signing off.